Two men. Some podcasting equipment. What could possibly go wrong? Don't you think we have enough of them?
Yeah, we have enough of those.
No! Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your ears for a listening experience you've never had. It's Pertinent Podcast!
Welcome back, everybody, to the It's Pertinent Podcast. I'm here with my very special peepee boy, Kurt.
Yes, absolutely you are. And I'm here with my captain, my general,
I like that.
Pippi James.
Thank you.
Also, for anybody watching on the tube.
Yes.
Actually, also, some people might not know this. We upload the full video to Spotify as well.
Yeah.
Which would be distracting if you listen whilst you're driving, but it is an
Yeah,
option.
we don't advocate for listening and watching while driving. Just listening.
Listening, yes. But those who are watching will notice we have a very special guest here today. Felix, do you want to explain to us what you're doing on the pod today?
Yeah, why are you here?
I'm here to be the comic relief after serious conversations.
Right.
Fantastic.
Which we're known for.
I'm here to zone out.
Yeah?
Mid-conversation.
Cool.
Cool. We're also, outside of that, you're going to be competing today.
Yes.
That as well. I'm very excited.
On a new challenge we've got for this week's It's Pertinent Point.
Yes.
But the tallies are in for week one. Because the way this works is on release day of each pod, the poll for the previous week of whatever the competitive segment was, which was show working out, will go up. So we only really know, 3 episodes later what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So for show working out, where it was the GPS, explaining what GPS is, unfortunately and controversially, James did win by a little bit. Only
Thank
by
you.
a little bit.
Thank you.
Did you vote in that poll?
I appreciate it. Did I vote? Yes.
Yeah, okay, so did I. I voted on 2 accounts and I still lost.
Hey.
Have you got the official stats?
I think it's like 57 to
57%
43.
to me.
Yeah, which sucks. When I first checked
Healthy
it, you were beating
margin.
me by a landslide. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, all my accounts. Let's go.
Make a couple new ones.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I do get that I was wrong and you got it right. But the way I explained it, I think, was more concise.
It's
than the way
okay.
you had.
It's okay.
Go back and listen to that if you haven't.
Gracious in
Defeat?
defeat. That's all.
No. I'm a sore winner and loser.
Fair enough.
I'm actually not.
So have you positioned the voting to be like the most accurate or the most entertaining?
The one you agree with the most.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because
The vibe.
once we explain what it is, then you can choose which one's the most correct. But I don't think that's very interesting at all. Like,
No.
we're not trying to be the closest. We're trying to explain it the best we can. So whatever goes down the best for you.
Whichever
smile
one
at
goes
that.
down well,
Do you want to explain why that's an interesting thing for you to say? Or do you want me to do it?
you can do it.
There was
you
a
can do it.
period when I first met James. Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah,
literally
it was
like
about
year
the
1, year
food.
2.
Yeah.
And we'd go out for food or whatever. It was always food related. And he was like, you know what would go down really well right now? Or after he finished eating, he's like, yeah, like it shouldn't just goes down so well. Or like, this drink just goes down so well. And he would say it so often to the point where I had to go, I was like, bro, you are saying that?
Yeah, you
Too
are
often.
Trying to coin a catchphrase, I think.
Yeah.
You called me out in like a public area.
I did not.
You did. You screamed at me in front of a Boost Juice, and I felt unbelievably scared.
I let
and
them know.
embarrassed.
I think you should have doubled down and made merch.
Yeah,
It
goes down
It
well.
goes down well.
Hey,
Hey,
be
it
good.
would
It's fine. Now,
Could be
I didn't
good.
think I made as big of a deal out of
you
it.
did.
as you Really?
You ruined my confidence.
I understand that it affected you, but I don't think, in retrospect, I actually made as big of a deal as you felt it was.
I'm sure you would think that.
Okay. Fair enough. But yes, you did win. I would encourage people to vote based on how they feel for the pertinent points.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to it, which one do you relate to more? Because last week's one, which was social battery, I think is going to be a close one.
It's going to be a toughie.
Because they were very adjacent. Felix, you listened to the pod.
I did.
Can we
I
get
did.
an early vote?
Look, from my recall, I'm going to say
Drum roll.
James with the pre
Really?
cortex. That's great.
But we looked it up and you even said, okay, actually off camera, off pod.
Don't bring off-camera things on camera things.
No,
We
sure.
don't exist
I know,
outside
that's
these
actually-
cameras,
So
Kurt.
you related more to what he said because you speak words.
I liked that he was more scientifically based in it.
Okay, interesting. Well, that's your personal bias, I suppose.
That's right.
As a very scientifically based
Yeah,
man.
I guess that's what you think.
You can be wrong.
I just want to make sure that everyone watching, let's just put this out there. You're not voting for who you like more. You're just voting for which one.
It's not a popularity
Yeah,
contest.
it's not. So, like, if you did that, I understand. But make sure we don't do that going forward.
Are you saying that as if you won based on popularity the first time?
No. I won based off of pure intellect.
Right, okay. Well, that's not what it's about, though. It's about articulating a concept
Emotional
we're
intellect?
unfamiliar with.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch it back in post.
I suppose that is intellect. No, don't watch it back. Just go off your heart. I lost.
Just go off the vibe.
It's fine.
If you're
I'll take
vibing
Oscar.
me, that's chill.
But that means
It
we
happens.
have one more. After next week, it'll be first forfeit.
Yes.
So I might put up a poll on the Instagram. Also,
suggestion
another thing
for
people
us.
might not know, and I only found out when I started uploading, Spotify has polls as well. So if you can and you don't follow us on Instagram, there will be a poll up as well, which I didn't check actually. But it's you can vote for who you think. So along with the episode, I'll put up the voting for the challenge, and that'll go into the overall draw, and we'll
Cool.
tally up all the votes. So yeah, that stays up for the full 7 days. We're on Instagram. We don't have that luxury.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, I think you can vote if we highlight it though. We'll figure that out later. Don't need to go into
Yeah, that's not
on the
that's
pod.
not an our conversation.
Yeah, before we started the pod today, Felix, you frequented a certain news article that I thought was really interesting. I was like, wait, let's talk about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I saw recently there was a failed Daily Mail sting operation
Yeah.
going on in Newtown, of all places, which is one of the most accepting places, I think, in the Greater Sydney, I believe.
I think that's the name of
Do
like
we need
the
to bleep
suburbs.
the name of the place?
We can if we want to.
Oh, you can? Well, I think they'll see it online.
Yeah.
So
See us talking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The Daily Mail will
that's
put
right.
us on.
They'll put us up there, man.
Daily Mail
They're not
posted
going to
out their own
censor us.
thing.
They better not.
They better not.
They better not. I'll have a word with them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
what happened?
So basically, there was an undercover operation where they got a prominent figure in the Jewish community to go into a cafe and basically pester somebody who worked at the front desk, asking the barista if they had a problem with what they were wearing, because they were wearing a Star of David cap.
Yep.
Upon not being bothered whatsoever, this person walked out, and then a camera crew came in to interview the cafe worker, and they got in lots and lots of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
That
they
is-
should have.
What?
That's crazy.
It's like really weird. It was just completely out of pocket, completely
Yeah.
left field. I don't know what they were trying to achieve. Were they trying to catch people who are anti-Semitic? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess.
or a vendetta against this cafe specifically.
I mean,
Yeah.
and targeting
Their
a small
croissant prices
business.
were too high.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it. Targeting a small business, I think, is a low blow anyway.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you can't control what people think.
No.
Behind closed doors, and if they get prompted the opportunity, you never know what they're going to say.
No.
Right. But obviously, this person has held themselves quite well.
Yeah, done a good job.
And egg on the face to Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And all the other news outlets are jumping on them now because
Yeah.
As they should.
being silly at that.
I think it would be funny in the inverse to go into a cafe and just go in, make an assumption about the person that's entirely positive, and then see their reaction, and then go in with the camera crew. It's like, hey, do you think that assumption
Was accurate.
was accurate about you? It's like you go into the cafe, it's like, hey, I think in your friend group, you're the person who people turn to for advice. Thank you so much for my coffee. And then you leave, and then it waits a little bit, film their reaction, and you go in, it's like, hey, did they know that or what? And you just get the camera right up in their face. It's like, yeah, you're right, I am
Really
the
targeting
group.
the hope core community.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Like,
change you want to see.
like those people in the parks who'll go up and it's like, hey, I know this time is difficult. Like they give people little notes in the park and like, hey, you're the change in somebody else's life. And they sit there and they cry for like 30 seconds. It's like, that's beautiful.
Or inversely, they give a note and it says, "You don't scare me, clown."
Are they doing that as well?
Yeah, they are. It's really. I don't know which one's more entertaining.
I think I'd go with that one.
Yeah.
The backwards one.
Before we get into anything else, though, boys, happy Valentine's Day for a couple days ago.
So I told him we weren't going to talk. Whoa! If anybody listening, Felix just tried to plant one on me.
I feel ashamed. I'm sorry.
Did you not listen
I got given
to my
mixed-
horror story from
Mixed
last week?
messages.
Yeah.
I was trying to
We
feel
set our
better
rules
about
before
it.
the podcast.
I just said no kissing.
Yeah, hey man, I'm so sorry about that.
Now, we had a conversation about this before we got on. I don't think we should be doing a Valentine's Day.
I just wanted to say a happy
You just wanna-
Valentine's Day.
By this point, it'll be like, what, 10 days ago? We did just introduce Felix as Felix.
Yeah.
Felix is a very good friend of the show.
Yes. He's a fan of the show and friend of the show.
I think you remember how last week, whilst I think it was during reverse ad-libs on the grounds comment, grounds versus grounding, and we looked over to a adjudicator. Do you think you have a unbiased opinion when it comes to that stuff, or are you more likely to favour somebody? We need somebody who's very unbiased to be able and to be called in.
I can remove myself from the situation.
Do you think so?
I think
Are
absolutely.
you capable of removing any
yes.
biases you have towards either of us?
Absolutely. And I've got lots of biases against both of you guys. I think.
What if it's equal?
Yeah,
Only
equally
positive.
biased. I think I can remove myself as a, kind of an adjudicator position.
Well,
Independent.
then, yeah, it might
party.
be called on in terms of in situations that are required in the future.
When in dire need.
Yeah.
I'll be the hero, baby.
You can
Do you have
be
any? Do you have any
the
fun?
hero,
Do
babe.
you have one fun fact?
Fun fact?
Yeah, we go up. So it's like, hi, my name is Felix, and I.
icebreaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun fact. I got to think about that, man. Putting me on the spot.
I'm sorry. We can come back to that later.
Yeah.
As we know, we never cut. And that's absolutely correct. Felix,
What is your fun fact?
tell me.
Actually, when I was in year 6, I faked a hamstring injury in the middle of 100 meters because I was losing.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're also a sore loser.
That was a good one.
Thank you. Made me think it wasn't a good one.
No. It was all genuine.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you're a terrible human being for doing that. Even at 12 years old. That sort of thing stays with you too.
That's
Something I was pretty proud of.
sociopaths are made of.
That's behavioural. James, have you ever been at a party
Once or twice in my life, yes.
and have you tried to converse with somebody at said party?
Nah, people are scary.
Here, we're going to run a little simulation here. You're going to come up to Felix, right? You say, hi, how's it going?
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
And then you say something to the effect of, I just got back from...
Kentucky.
And then you would be like, oh no.
I've got to search my mind palace.
What do I know about Kentucky? So then you immediately go to the lowest hanging fruit on the board, which is, you know what they say about Kentucky?
You know what they say about Kentucky? There's chicken that's fried there.
And then Felix would have the only acceptable reaction, which is,
Wow, you really know about Kentucky.
so, on that, we're going to be introducing a new game today. This is going to be our It's Pertinent Point game for today. I don't know why I'm adding the it's at the start of that. It's just pertinent points. Where we, today, because we have our guests, will all be competing to come up with a saying on a certain topic to the tune of, you know what they say about
Blank.
blank,
Whatever category we have.
yada, yada,
chosen.
yada, yada. Something to interject into a social situation whenever you're hanging on and you don't know what to say.
A nice tidbit of information, a funny quote, a metaphor.
Yeah.
Something that opens the conversation up to greater
Heights.
conversation.
And makes you sound knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
So for this week, our debut week of this segment, we're going to be doing a topic that comes up in conversation all the time. Like, I'm lucky to get through a week where this doesn't come up. And it's Antarctica.
Absolutely.
How helpful?
Many a
Very.
time have I been stumped in a conversation because I didn't know anything about Antarctica.
Well, now you're going to have at least 3 different
Bits
things.
of ammunition to
Yeah.
use in that conversation.
Don't
I've
use
been
it too often.
So excited in my life.
Don't use them all up in one conversation, I'd say.
Then you're left in no man's land
Yeah.
and you got nothing to go on.
Also, can you imagine conversation? You know what they say? One thing's like, wow, that's really interesting.
You know what they say.
And you know what they say? And you just do all 3 back to back. So don't do that.
Not consecutively.
So we already got ours locked and loaded. Sorry, you threw me so.
I just made a funny face to the camera.
Because I looked up from my sheet and James was still going at the shakers. He said at the camera.
You don't say that, Owen.
So we're going to go around in a circle now.
Yeah.
Questions can be asked about what you know what they say means.
You know what they say, it would be helpful when in a social situation with your friends.
And you want it to sound really cool. So you use one of these 3 fun facts.
Or something to that effect.
Okay, well, obviously, to decide who's going to go first for this, we have to do paper, scissors, rock.
Yes.
So
Rock,
we're gonna
scissors,
do
paper.
We're going to do a three-way here.
Ooh.
You're in on a two.
Yeah, that includes you.
All right, I'm ready.
You ready?
You got to call
What you're doing.
What you're doing, okay?
So wait, are we? Hang on. Are we like?
So scissors, paper, rock.
Wow.
Paper, rock. Shoot.
Scissors, paper,
rock.
rock, and then shoot on that,
And then
Okay,
call it.
whatever. Cool. Are we
ready?
ready with this?
Ready.
All right. Give me a sec. Scissors, paper, paper.
Paper.
You're so late.
Because I was waiting for you to finish talking.
No, you're out.
You're
Because I
out.
got you either way. You ready?
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Scissors, rock.
Scissors.
Scissors. I don't know why I said rock. That would have won.
So much more
All right, well, let's just
than it
like
needs to be.
not do the chant beforehand.
Scissors.
Paper.
I won. So I'm going to go first here. That was so much more complicated than it needed to be.
We could have just spun a pencil or something.
Should we, let's start like a normal conversation.
Yeah. Like Felix and I having a conversation, then you.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Felix, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I'm actually just going to study. My semester's coming up. Really trying to get plugged into that and just focus on my career.
Hey, I'm here too. What are you doing? What are you studying in your semester?
I'm actually doing physiotherapy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Where are you doing it?
Oh, in Antarctica. I wasn't paying attention to what you said. I was too busy thinking about what I was doing.
I think
You know what they say about Antarctica?
Okay.
Do you want to go again?
No, that's funny.
You know what they say about Antarctica? Always check the thickness of the ice before you jump in. Also, probably wear thermal swimmers.
Wow, that's super informative.
Interesting.
Just like
That helps when you study physiotherapy.
Physiotherapy in Antarctica. Well, I will be working predominantly with the wildlife there. So
that's great. Cool. What was the first thing you said? I kind of blanked.
Always check the thickness of the ice before you jump in.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor for life.
And also probably wear thermal swimmers. So, any questions about...
We'll do the questions after.
Hey, Felix, funny meeting you here.
Yeah, no, it's been really great to see you, man.
I've been away for a while. I was just completing my physiotherapy degree in Antarctica.
Wow.
Hey guys, you know what
hey,
they say
James.
about Antarctica? Penguins can't sled upwards.
That's right. I've never thought about that before, but
Yeah.
it's spot on.
I think it's gravity, you know.
And I've never had to think about it because it makes no sense.
That was
Exactly.
really- took me out of
We're not doing explanations
No,
now.
no, keen to hear your explanation later on.
really good. I'm really impressed.
I'm intrigued.
Hey Kurt, how you doing?
I'm doing awfully.
Why are you doing so awfully?
So, I just completed my physiotherapy degree in Antarctica, and I got gangrene.
You know what they say about Antarctica?
What's that?
Always wear 2 coats because I live there, and the world is always a little colder when I'm around because they say I'm the wick friend.
No notes.
We walk away from that conversation.
Security, can you come and get this guy, please?
I'm just trying to connect on a deeper level.
Okay, do we want to go around in a circle? I don't need any explanation as to what Felix said.
Okay, I might start with my explanation because it seemed as though you guys
I
were a
was
bit
more
lost.
intrigued with yours, yeah.
So, you know what they say? Penguins can't sled upwards.
Correct.
It's a good place to use it. Times can be tough, but stay in your lane. Don't do something that you feel as though you cannot do. And that's such a poor explanation.
Like fly?
Yeah. Wait, no. I can think of a better explanation than this. I'm going to cut it.
I like that. I saw where you were coming
Cut
from.
it so I don't sound dumb. Rule for the pod is there are no cuts.
No, that's not the rule. The rule for the pod is that there are no cuts
That you recognize.
that I don't like.
I heard it at the start.
I don't understand too.
Don't try and do something that you aren't capable of doing. Like, don't overextend yourself in any situation.
Yeah, but I feel, okay. It's just that that's impossible.
Correct.
Saying like don't reach for things that seem like you can't do.
No, don't.
But it's
Don't
not
put
even
yourself in a situation where you've got too much to handle. Like you can't.
Right.
You
But
can't
it's not
do
even
s-
seemingly out of reach. It's just blatantly impossible for a penguin to slide upwards.
On
Sure.
a grander level of
Unless
physics.
they've gone down a really steep hill and then they go up. But that doesn't count. That's not
Because
what you
that's
said.
momentum.
That's momentum.
Yeah.
That's not sledding.
That's like saying, oh, don't try and fly if you don't think you can fly.
Yeah. Well, no, it's
You
not
can't
really.
fly. That's the exact same thing.
Not really.
That's
Before.
actually 100% bang on.
that thing before. That's just like Penguin Flight Simulator.
It's a good game. Really
Great
good
game. Anyway, well, you guys had an explanation.
I don't need one. Don't need one for yours. So mine. You know what they say? Always check the thickness of the ice before you jump in. Also, probably wear thermal swimmers. So this actually can be used in social situations because you check the. No, it's like talking about social situations. Because you got to go and you got to check how thick the ice is with who you're going to converse with before you're ready to jump in. And if you can't properly assess how difficult it's going to be to get in this conversation, come in with some backup. Come in well prepared with what they say, which is your thermal swimmers.
Yes. So always live your life in social situations like walking on eggshells.
Or like
Or
living in
thin
Antarctica.
ice.
Yeah, like living in Antarctica.
Wow. Because penguins have eggs too.
So,
Sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
wait, what? would you like to explain?
Would you like to explain your one, Felix?
Well, sometimes I feel misunderstood, and I just
I feel like it doesn't need it.
I think it
Doesn't need
stands
much.
for itself.
Yeah.
I think it's a powerful message.
Absolutely.
I feel like if you don't know what the Rick friend is, you're probably better off. Yes, James.
I've got a better explanation for my one.
Oh, you've come up with a better one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So when I'll give you context. You're talking to a coworker and you're talking about your boss and you really don't like this boss and they're really incapable of doing a lot of things. And somehow Antarctica's brought up. You go, you know what they say? A penguin can't sled upwards. It's like you're saying the boss is so incapable of doing what they're meant to do or whatever action it is.
Okay. Yeah, like you're asking too much of somebody.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Thank you.
Outside of their capabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Not like shoot for the stars, but don't because you can't get up there with
That's not what I was saying.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
land on the moon.
Yeah, just get up there with a ladder.
Yeah, just do it.
That's right.
Yeah, because you can't do that.
No.
Don't make ladders that big.
Big string, perhaps.
I'm sure you could.
Well, whichever one you thought was the best one, make sure you vote either on Spotify or on Instagram. We have decided that if Felix wins, then that PP, that pertinent point, is going to factor in to the overarching
The audience.
the audience.
I think I've represented them well.
I think you have. And in terms of deciding what the forfeit is, which the way we're going right now looks like it's going to be me.
Doing the forfeit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So vote on the pipes.
All the pipes. Felix, do you have any kids?
I do not.
Do you want any one day?
I would love to.
That's fantastic. Do you agree that there are certain responsibilities that fathers have to their children, other than, the boring stuff, taking care of the money, the household?
I'd say
Other-
that's joint.
Yeah, I would say that is
Between
joint.
It's good typecasting a father. I think.
Goodness.
Yeah. I was more thinking of just a single father, but that's okay.
Okay, well, you think I'm going to be a single father?
Maybe.
Well, you know what? I'd take on the challenge regardless.
And you do a great job.
Thank you, I appreciate
One of the other big responsibilities, though, is making sure your kids think you're the coolest person ever. You know how you do that?
How?
With some cool stories.
Back in my day, we didn't have cell phones. I would have made it to the league had I not. Mere mountaintops, valleys, and treacherous ravines were not enough to keep me from going to school. There was this one time...
Yeah, that's enough dad lore out of you, Dad. I don't believe any of that.
Did he just say, Dad Law?
So, Felix, do you have a story that you would want to tell your kids to make them think you're very cool?
I do have one, but I don't know if it'll make me seem cool.
Oh.
Is it a low moment in your life you're going to share with us?
You could say it's a vulnerable moment.
Really?
Absolutely.
We'll try and censor that part out and make it lighthearted for us.
And humorous.
I don't want to hear that.
Exactly. We don't want to hear how.
That's right. I'll push it all down.
Healthy, thank you.
That's right.
As a father should do, if you ask James.
Absolutely. For the greater good.
Unnecessary.
It was summer 2017.
Right. You were how old?
about 16 years old.
Okay, yeah.
16 years old. Not wise, not old, kind of getting into my steps, figuring out who I was.
Closing
And
your rings.
it was actually winter. It was a house party that I got invited to. And, all the buzz around house parties at school, everybody's talking about it, everybody's really excited, ready to get on, kick on, have a little sip.
Yep.
So I had gotten in contact with a friend's brother who supplied a $20 bottle of Aldi potato juice.
Okay.
And I was I was planning on drinking it all that night,
Yes.
as you do.
As you should.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to remember this. Anyway, so
Is that foreshadowing?
no.
Well, I mean, he clearly did remember
because
it.
you-
Well, I remember. Well, I'm recounting, so
Yeah.
something's gone wrong at this point. Let's fast forward to the party. Everybody's having a great time. Nobody's drinking in moderation. Me myself, I'm not in a good spot, right?
Yeah.
I've had a little bit too much, and
Close to the heater.
yeah, absolutely. And I have gone to sleep against my own will.
Okay.
Right? I wake up. I'm on a sofa. Still at the person's house that I knew I was. So I had all my stuff with me. I knew my bag was outside. I was going to get changed into something more comfortable. I was like, okay, well, I've got good friends. They've looked after me, and I am in a safe spot. So I walk outside, rummage through my bag, trying to find some of my pajamas, and behind me I hear there's the slide and lock of the sliding door back into the house, and I look back, and the silhouette of the father of the person had locked me out of the house and gone back to bed. So I tried to get in contact with the people I knew. Everyone was asleep. It was about 2:30 in the morning. And I banged on the door for a solid half an hour. Nobody was coming, so I got 2 pool chairs and I got some wet towels and I put them over myself. And I laid there, and every couple of minutes I would try and call someone again, but I would try not to be on my phone too much because the dogs would start barking and I didn't want to wake up the rest of the neighborhood.
Right.
So I sat there and I eventually fell asleep, and I woke up to the sounds of people looking for me, and I didn't sit up. I just waited, and I saw people go past me. I went, I don't like you guys.
Yeah,
Can't
no.
believe you locked me out.
Ultimate game of hide and seek.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you should never go outside after drinking.
But did you talk to the dad the next day and be like, hey, buddy, you locked me out?
I was afraid of him. I don't know if it was in spite. Or if he
So you don't even know motive.
I didn't want to confront him. I wasn't that type of guy,
Yeah.
But there you go. I just wanted to show my fun dad side.
That's awful.
So what's the moral of the story that your kids can take from this?
Well, I think I want to show that you guys can have fun and not worry about consequences. I've done silly things too, and
Right.
look who I am now.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
slept on 2 pool chairs and wet towels.
Yeah.
And I turned out great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I seethed in those towels, waiting for people to find me. So-
Would have loved to have a chat with that dad. Like, hey, so what did Felix do to you if you did do that on purpose, or was that an accident?
Dude,
Even if
this-
that was an accident, how do you see someone walking out very clearly intoxicated and then lock them outside?
Well, maybe he didn't see. Did he not see?
I don't know. I wasn't out there for
It was,
that long.
it was a glass thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Well, he
pretty
like
hard
I
not to
wasn't
see.
far away from the door. Like
And it was 2:30, so he just decided to get up, go. See, that's what bugs me. It's like he
Weirds
got up
me
at
out.
2:30. It's like, oh, the back door's probably open. I'm going to go down. Was it a 2-story?
Yeah, 2 stories.
So walk
He
downstairs
walked downstairs.
to do that and then walk back up
that
to bed.
seems malicious.
It seems targeted, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Alright.
That's really odd.
There you go. You know what? I need to go back and find that man.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember in 2017 when you locked me out of the house at 2:30 in the morning for no
where I
apparent
was
reason?
threatened with
got-
pneumonia. It was
Yeah.
the middle of winter.
Middle of winter.
It was
In
terribly
wet
cold.
towels.
Wet
In
towels as well.
man. I was sick for a week after that.
Yeah.
That makes
Terribly,
sense.
terribly cold.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I feel wiser.
Thank you.
No,
Absolutely.
Well,
I also feel very, very wise.
it's my pleasure to share.
In awe knowing you endured that and got out there, slept on it.
Yeah.
Pool chairs.
It's like you know how like I needed to walk down 5 different mountains to get to school.
yeah.
I had to sleep outside at night time
To enjoy a party.
to enjoy a party.
Damn, which you didn't enjoy.
Well,
Keep in contact with any of those friends?
absolutely not.
Good. Very good.
Good idea. Cut them off.
ties.
Yeah,
Cut them off at the seams.
Nobody was that upset about it.
Really?
Except for me.
Except for you.
That seems very poor.
Yeah, what's the next one we'll do?
Rat libs.
Don't call it that.
We're not calling it that.
Don't
You
call
can't give him the
I don't know why it's stuck in my brain.
It's-
Reverse ad libs.
Also, it's easier to write down, which bugs me so much.
know,
Because
eh?
I don't have to write e-verse.
I'm just gonna do R ad libs.
so rattling.
With a big space in between.
Yeah, okay.
ad-libs.
Ad
Like
libs.
one here and then one here.
Alright.
You might want to put that in reverse so you can understand what I just said.
So the way this is going to work today is I'm going to ask you both 10 questions. And as I ask the question, as soon as you think of a word that associates with the one I gave you, you yell it out. And then whichever one out of you guys I like the most, I'll write down. And then that's going to go into my retelling, which is part 2 of this, where I use the words you guys gave me to make a story that makes sense in chronological order based on the words you gave me.
Okay.
Understood? All right, give me a second here. I'm going to write down some words. Are you guys ready for your 10 words?
I am
Absolutely.
absolutely ready.
I can't wait.
Number 1, virtual reality.
Yeah. No, okay. Okay.
I wasn't ready.
Let's I need coffee beans. I just threw myself
Sorry.
out there straight into the deep end, no boogie boards. I need a second.
Okay.
All my thoughts converged into one, and I just
He
came
also,
out with-
he swore.
Did I?
Yeah, he did. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
So we're going to tuck that in at the end so you're not prepped. We're going to go next word.
Okay.
Are you sure you're all good to go?
I'm ready.
Spectacle.
Monocle.
Wow. Did you guys just align? You guys
Absolutely.
just sync up?
I feel like we share chakras. Maybe.
Can you share chakras? Sorry, wrong time.
6,
7.
large.
Small.
Medium.
I'm going to go with medium because it came out first.
Okay, fair enough. Doesn't like small
I
things.
think it did.
What's that?
I think mine was just louder.
Did you come and say, oh wow.
Video assistant referee, please.
Large.
Small.
Medium.
We can check it back.
Yeah.
Emma Watson.
Gold chain.
You weren't even waiting for the word. You just decided on that
I need
preemptively.
to have something loaded up, man, because otherwise I'm going,
Gold chain from Emma Watson.
Let's say wife.
Wife?
That was the first
Can
thing
I
that popped into
justify
my
it, though?
I
mind.
got a good gold chain.
That chain is so funny.
So good.
I think she suits gold jewelry.
I'll let her know you
Just imagining her with a big chain that swings.
I'll let her know you said so.
Her nickname is the Big Cheese.
The big cheese. What does that mean? Because I've heard people have been called the big cheese, and I don't know if it has any.
Like head honcho, you know, big boss.
Okay, fair enough.
I think so.
Makes no sense.
Or something mouse related.
Yeah. All right, guys. Today's the day we go after the big cheese. Go out and get the big cheese. Get the big cheese. It's
Tony, you're bringing me the big cheese,
It's
Tony.
the final heist, guys.
Mozzarella.
Stay out of the cat. Stay to the shadows. Get the big cheese. Dragons.
Balls.
Slay.
Like Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay. Fair.
That's good.
Slay.
Slay.
Chrome.
Dome.
It's the second one you guys have lined up on.
It's one.
Go for the Hattie.
Wow.
Makes it very easy. Salami.
Pepperoni.
Did you hear him start
No,
talking?
I said it, but I said it late, so you can go.
Plagiarize.
Well, he said pepperoni too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter then.
Fungus.
Mushroom.
Me.
I'm gonna go with mushroom because you said me, which is the second time you said that.
But today?
Yeah, the first one you said virtual reality. You said me.
No, I said yeah on the first one.
Blank check.
Cha-ching!
3.
Brie? Why?
I don't know.
Is-
I
It's
don't have an
expensive?
answer.
Cool.
I don't know.
If you had a blank check, what would you buy? Brie.
Brie.
Yeah.
Final one. Virtual reality.
Meta.
Head.
Head and meta. I like meta. I think it's gonna be more difficult to use. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't about winning. It was about getting words.
It's about having fun.
I think we both did a really good job at that.
I agree.
The fourth M word in this story as well, which is tough. Because we got monocle, medium, mushroom, and meta.
Right.
They're all spaced out though. Somewhere.
That's miraculous.
That's
Marvelous.
alliteration.
Wow.
So this is a story about my grandfather. Back in 1947. Walking down the street, donning a lovely feather-tailed coat, equipped with a monocle and top hat, he strolled with his gang of 7 close friends and comrades. It was only a group of medium threat criminals that he was rolling with, but they were known as the Gold Chain. The crime that they dealt with was a peculiar one. They were obsessed with retrieving the diamond bowls, an artifact of great price in those days, belonging to the king of the time, who lived in his marble dome in the region of which my grandfather was from. On a successful heist, it was customary for the Gold Chain to head to their favorite parlor of the pizza to retrieve the pepperoni, of course. Okay, I just want anybody who's listening into this to know that whenever I stop talking, both of them start gesturing extravagantly. It's super distracting. The head chef of this parlor was always in quite a bit of strife when the Gold Chain walked in, as for some strange reason, with their pepperoni, they always wanted mushroom on it as well. And he said, "Why do you want mushroom with your pepperoni? That combination doesn't make any sense on the taste buds." And my grandfather replied, "Hey, why don't you quit yapping back to me? Just cash us out. Cha-ching, we're paying you good money." And so they left. After their heist, they'll head back down the street. They are quite a revered gang. Sometimes they steal gold chains, which is a little bit too meta, considering the name of the gang, but they were revered nonetheless. End scene.
Wow.
That's the story of my grandfather's gang, the Gold Chain, back in 1947, which is the time period that he's from. He was about 25 years old by that point, so it was quite prolific of that time, the Gold Chain. You can look them up.
Based on true events, yes?
True events, yes. Yeah, they collect diamond bowls and eat pepperoni mushroom pizza.
My goodness.
Sounds like a great Saturday night.
Yeah.
My goodness.
How's that? What did you guys think of that story?
I thought that was fantastic.
They did a good job.
Quite frankly, amazing.
I felt like I rushed through it a little bit because they all were so easy.
I
It
felt
was a
quite
good
the
week.
opposite. I felt like you took your time and it was very
you-
well
yes.
planned out.
Okay, good. I'm glad you thought so.
meticulous.
It was
I
just
felt
like,
as though I rushed it last week.
it was just one word a sentence. You did fine. You wrapped it up really well last week.
True. My schizophrenic man with his octopus.
I think
from
you
packages.
also worked really well under the distraction that we were causing.
Which was okay, because there was a lot of long pauses in there, but you guys were always just like, Mamma mia, out of my peripheral vision. Just like very.
Did it not add to the story?
I did have to method
It
act
would have
my
done if
way
you're watching.
into it, you know?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed, I feel more immersed when I'm
Okay.
moving.
Well, good, I'm glad.
I can hear the soft jazz playing in the background.
Exactly
Just,
right.
they're all
Smell.
7 of them walking down the street just. Hey, Grandpa Kurt, when are we gonna hit the Gold Chain stand? I really wanna go and get some pepperoni mushroom pizza.
Hey Johnny, load up the wagon. We're going on a heist.
We're gonna get some diamond balls. Sauce!
You know what I didn't do?
What's that?
I didn't start off the podcast asking or making a saying with what we say. So if anyone caught it from last week.
Yeah, you didn't explain it last week at all.
I didn't explain it in any extent. So how we're going to start off every podcast is either myself or Kurt, or potentially guest if they're on, will make up a saying on the spot where one person has a setup of a joke already written out. Like last week, it was the podcast where the more you push, and famously Kurt said, the more comes out. It's pretty famous. But I didn't do it this week.
No.
So would we like to...
Because you were really excited about it as well. It's like, I'm going to get this to catch on, but you didn't explain it, and then you didn't do it this week.
Yeah.
So it's like as if we simulate the start of the pod for your sake, James. Like, welcome back to the podcast where the faster you run...
the quicker you get there.
Well, that's not really a saying. That's just true. What would you have
It
said?
depends. Are you running to a destination or are you just on the journey?
Okay, we don't have to make
That's
it
a bit too deep
philosophical.
for us.
You didn't like that one.
Because your question.
So what do you think about that, really?
Let's take a moment to ponder that.
Yeah.
What if how about we take that away for this week and we can think about it and come back.
We can come back with a better one.
What that means. Yeah.
A real thinker.
Yeah. Well, this episode's gonna be up on all the pipes, just in case you didn't know. I recommend. Look, our recommendation. The video is going to be more enjoyable to watch, but I understand that people don't always have the chance.
People have a life to
sit down
live.
for those. But if you're cleaning or cooking, about to go to sleep, on the television, do you have a place?
Eating lunch.
Eating lunch, it's a good one. Chuck the pot on.
Chuck the pot on. It's Pertinent Pod on all socials.
Everywhere.
Instagram, TikTok. We're not on Facebook. We will be on
YouTube.
Facebook. Spotify, YouTube.
Going to be Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcast very soon.
Promise. Absolutely promise. Any parting comments, Felix?
I just want to say it's been a pleasure. I hope I connected with you guys deeply.
Thank you for sharing that harrowing story.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate that.
I hope people feel like they know me now.
Yeah.
Based off that one story I told.
Yeah, it tells a lot about you.
I hope I am summarized as that story.
And you're still here. You made it through.
You made it through the treacherous wintry night.
I am a post-drinks survivor.
Good for you. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
That's all we have for this week on the pod.
Episode 3. Wow, we're pushing along pertinently.
I don't think that's a real word.
Well, I like it.
We'll see you all next week.
Bye.